Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm having another craving for some wings. Now listen, I don't know if I want wings tonight, maybe, but what I'm thinking is I want to put some wings on the grill, and I also believe I'm in the mood to cook some ribs this weekend because Auburn is playing LSU, and I think, as I recall, I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure we're playing LSU at their place, which is never a good thing. LSU is the toughest place, in my opinion, to play anywhere. Those Cajuns know how to party, and they get pretty rowdy in that stadium. And I haven't seen too many teams go in and win, especially at night at LSU. And the game starts at 3:30, which basically means you go in tonight. So I don't have high expectations for this one, but I do love it when we play LSU. LSU is always an exciting team. In fact, I love everything about New Orleans. I love spicy food. I love, and I know that LSU is in Baton Rouge, okay? But I love everything about the whole Cajun culture. And so, in fact, even though I went to Auburn, I would love it if my son went and played baseball at LSU because they have one of the most high energy baseball teams I've ever watched. So anyway, I hope we beat LSU, but I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see. But I will be doing something like either eating some wings. I think I'm going to cook some wings and maybe some ribs. That's what I'm kind of thinking. That's my vibe this weekend. We'll see. Okay. Now, I wanted to show you this. The market, let me do a refresh here. The market this morning is doing, we're up 8%. We're up 8%. XRP's at 0.295. So things are going well. All right. Now, I anticipate, I bought this last dip, and I anticipate that what we're going to see from here between now and swell, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we started to see some positive movement over the next few days. Okay, I did want to mention this just to make sure I addressed it. Live Coin Watch, okay, that's the Live Coin Watch is the site that I was just showing you the prices on, and you can find that at livecoinwatch.com. Well, they tweeted this out yesterday. A warm welcome to our newest creative partners, Digital Asset Investor, this guy. Check out their YouTube channels for quality crypto content. They tweeted this out. I just wanted to tell you, my audience, that this in no way, they're not paying me to talk about them. I'm not paying them to put me on their website. They did this. They had sent me their test website, and I had talked about how I liked it and how I was going to now use that when I'm talking about pricing on here. And so they did this to be nice. It's not a pay thing or anything like that. But they did list me here under their creative partners. And so I just wanted to make sure I was clear about that. They're not paying me. I'm not paying them. But they did do this to be nice, and I appreciate it. So you can find me in their creative partners section. So thank you to livecoinwatch.com. Okay, now check this out. This is interesting. It seems like all the best things happen at about 4 or 5 in the afternoon when I have already made a couple of videos and have kind of winded things down. Now, remember yesterday when we were talking about quantum, what was it called? I'm drawing a blank on the wording now. Quantum computing, quantum supremacy, or whatever. Anyway, this was an article from Breaker Magazine. We were talking about Corey Johnson. I haven't heard anything out of Corey Johnson in quite a while. But Corey Johnson, I was talking about this question where, do you have a sense of what Trump administration thinks about a product like Ripple? And it was talking about how the White House does not like this idea of 80% of the Bitcoin mining coming out of China. And then I showed you how Trump came out against Bitcoin and all that. Well, Corey Johnson had not come up in quite a while on this channel. Well, guess who decided to start tweeting out? From Crypto Brando Aguilera sent me this. Corey Johnson, Ripple and XRP. It's already happening. Now remember, folks, for those of you that don't know, this guy was Ripple's communications guy for like a year, okay? He was formerly at Bloomberg, as I recall. Ripple and XRP, it's already happening, and yes, I placed that bet. Now look at this from, I don't know who this is. This is too big to let go. Perhaps the Libra was a trial balloon, but let's not fool ourselves. Someone will control the digital infrastructure for global payment. Any bets who the winner might be? And they're tweeting this out. If they could have voted to end Libra experiment today, it sure seems like a majority would have. Love to experiment with financial inclusion. Now, let's go back to this. Perhaps it said someone will control the digital infrastructure for global payment, and any bets who the winner might be. Well, I tweeted out something yesterday that basically said that my gut sees this playing field as Facebook versus Google, which remember Google is an investor in Ripple, and I put Ripple in parentheses. Facebook versus Google versus Bitcoin is how I see this playing field. Now, some guys reminded me, where's Amazon in the equation? I think Amazon will definitely be in the equation somewhere. They could be somehow working with Google and Ripple. I don't know. We've seen a lot of evidence that that might be happening. But I see that as the playing field. And I see it as very obvious who the winners are going to be. Remember, Trump has just gotten with Google on this, and they tweeted that they had worked with Google on this quantum supremacy or whatever they called it. And so, he's all these politicians are anti-Facebook. They're pissed off at Facebook. They're not. Trump says he's against Bitcoin. None of them will say the words Ripple or XRP. These SEC will not come out and say it's a security or something. So, and we've always felt like, well, how come nobody will say it? Well, wouldn't the one that you wouldn't say, wouldn't that be the one? I mean, golly, the stars can't be more aligned. Well, anyway, back to Corey Johnson. So then he tweets this out. He tweeted out about XRP 3 times in a row. In my humble opinion, if you don't start talking about Ripple and XRP, you're guessing, not reporting. And this is Joe Weisenthal. Reminder, we're going to have Katharina on this, and let's see who this is. Okay, this is the same person that tweeted this. So anyway, why in the world has Corey Johnson all of a sudden out of nowhere just totally become, let's talk about XRP? Well, then he says this, and this was yesterday too. Seriously, XRP Army, watch, and he's telling about a couple of reporters, I guess. Watch them. I think these are Bloomberg people. Yeah, these are Bloomberg people. Seriously, XRP Army, watch these and crew on What Did You Miss? It's one of the smartest shows on business television. Well, Corey Johnson is obviously trying to speak to the XRP community, so I went and followed these people, and I think you should too. I think I followed all of them. Yep, I did. So I will be paying attention to those people. And I was wondering if maybe he was sending us a message. Okay, XRP Crypto Wolf. Ripple is hiring a director of institutional markets to expand the reach, use, liquidity, and value of XRP. They will be responsible for expanding XRP market infrastructure and help Ripple to grow market maker, broker, exchange, and institutional partnerships. That's pretty strong right there. Now, I'm wondering where Miguel Baez is in all this, because he is the head of XRP markets, is my understanding. J.R. Ewing, my favorite television show in the history of the world, the greatest villain ever created on television. And by the way, I like to tell everybody that the digital asset investor has a picture. When I was a much younger man, I have a picture of me standing right here because I went and visited this house. For those of you that were Dallas fans, this is where JR and the family used to eat breakfast on the porch here, and JR would make all of his smart aleck comments to all his brothers and sisters and anybody else who was sitting there. I love that show. And you should also know that the digital asset investor has said, if XRP does what I believe, if it moons, and I mean mega moon, I am going to buy this house, and I'm going to just buy it as a pure investment and just because I can. Or maybe I'll buy it and tokenize the South Fork Ranch. How about that? How about them apples? There's an idea. Anybody want to help me tokenize South Fork Ranch? Let's do it. I'm in. I'll help you promote it. Okay, and then there's this, folks, this morning. Now, this guy continues to intrigue me. Now, I give a caveat every time I show tweets like this. I'm not saying that he's right. I'm just saying it intrigued me enough that I thought it was interesting. And if I think it's interesting, then I think you might find it interesting. And so I show you. I'm not going to ignore things like this that are now. I don't make a habit out of showing people who are claiming to be, give you riddles and all that. I haven't ever done that. Now, I don't hold anything against anybody that does because that's their thing. I understand how it's I even understand how it's kind of an interesting thing to go over and stuff. It's just not what I do, but I don't hold it against other people. Now, this guy has been intriguing me for a while now. Now he says China, Korea, Japan signed a deal to use a Chinese gold-backed crypto in trade. China is days, weeks away from unveiling their gold-backed crypto. They will move these assets on the XRPL. The IMF and World Bank gave their blessings. And then he says this, we'll let you all know more as soon as I get more information on this. But right now, this is confirmed. Great news for XRP. And then this article from Jonathan D at XRP_YD7 comes out this morning. Breaking. In his first major comments on blockchain, Chinese President Xi Jinping, I don't know how you say it, said the country should implement the technology across the economy. If this guy's coming out and saying this now, this has been in the works for years, which we know it has. And then Tony Valentino comes in, he retweets a version of that article and says, here we go. So that's pretty interesting. All right, from our old friend at ECOSSEXRP1 sent this, or let's see. Well, I'm going to go to it. I don't know if I deleted it. This is interesting too, from R3. Guild 1 Inc. CEO James Graham talks about 10 current projects they are currently running on Corda blockchain, their Cordicon. Now, this is an industry pioneers in blockchain and AI. For over 20 years, we've helped oil and gas companies enhance business performance with our advanced data solutions. And they're putting this up, and now remember, this is Corda Settler. What is the one digital asset right now that works with Corda Settler? XRP, folks, XRP. Now, look at this next slide. Look at all of these companies, these oil and gas companies. The largest oil and gas companies in the world are working with these guys, okay? Now, has anybody, I'm not going to say that. Well, I will say it. I've never heard this from any like source or anything like this, but there have been multiple times in over the course of the last year and a half to 2 years where I have heard people float the idea that they thought XRP could become or be somewhere involved with the petrodollar. When I see that's what I see. XRP literally it works with Corda Settler, and here we've got all of these oil and gas companies. That's just one of the many, many thousands of possibilities of things I've heard. So I'm not telling you it's going to happen. I'm just telling you these are the type things I've been hearing over the last 2 years from some very smart people in this community and that kind of thing. Okay, Cryptopolis at Cryptopolis_X breaking. The NASDAQ XRP LX XRP Liquidity Index is now listed in Yahoo Finance. Today was the first day. It's also a symbol in TradingView. The NASDAQ marketing machine is ramping up. Now, folks, I've been telling you, I believe something having to do with NASDAQ this is where we're going to start to get the real price discovery. You cannot, impossible to get accurate price, to get real price discovery yet, because we're not getting it from all the places like SBI virtual currency until we have some real price. And remember, SBI, as I recall, we've gone over an article before where they're working with NASDAQ. So get ready. We're going to find out. I mean, I believe that. I believe this is all going to evolve quicker than you think. XRP Enthusiast sent me this. Let me refresh this. I Am Legion has been hard at work. Go give this guy a follow at PAISAN 268-49860. This first video was awesome. This is from Corticon R3. Again, folks, this guy on stage is saying, I heard, look behind him, Corda Settler. Okay, anytime you hear Corda Settler, think XRP, because XRP right now, and it'll change. I mean, there'll be more, but for now, XRP is the only digital asset they use on Corda Settler. Okay, now this guy is on stage and he's talking about how 80 to 100% of all, not some, all banks in Italy are about to go on this thing by, I think he said by 2020. Okay, let me say that again, 80% to 100% of all banks in Italy. Go listen to what he's saying. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I Am Legion has all kinds of videos here from this Corticon that he's added to this. I'm going to capture the perfect shot. And this right here, look how enthusiastic that guy is. I like it. Okay. XRP Daddy sent me this from Backed. Bitcoin options. They're going to have Bitcoin options that they're adding on December the 9th. Bitcoin options contract will be based on the benchmark backed monthly Bitcoin futures contract and represents another important step in developing this asset class for institutional investors. And then they added this. Key features of the backed Bitcoin options contract include capital efficiency, cash or physical settlement, European-style option, attractive fees, broad distribution, and liquidity, instant messaging, block trades, options analytics. So these guys are ramping up more and more. And finally, from C3 Nick, this is funny. Lightning Network is essentially crap. If you think that it isn't, please do some research. And this is from an article that I had not gone over yet. User loses 4 Bitcoin on the Lightning Network. And this is one of those pieces of news that they do not want to get out there, but it is. And I'm not going to go into the details of how the guy lost it, but the bottom line is, using the Lightning Network, this guy lost 4 Bitcoin. Sick to your stomach. Now, today is Friday, and because today's Friday, I can give out 3 titles. Here's first title, Scuba Man. He's going to be the official scuba diver of the Digital Asset Investor channel, because just like the superhero films and all the superheroes, we have Aquaman in that. Well, my channel has all kinds of, we've got an entire army of Rangers and Aussie Commandos and Navy SEALs and you name it, we've got them. But we didn't have anybody yet. Of course, a Navy SEAL is in the water, but this guy's a scuba diver. He's the official scuba diver of the Digital Asset Investor channel. And this guy said he got a new puppy because he just went through a divorce. He asked if his puppy could be the official guard dog of the Digital Asset Investor channel. And of course he can, because we don't have one yet. Now, I don't know if he's strong enough yet to guard our channel, but he's going to grow. So, but you are now the official guard dog of the Digital Asset Investor channel. Now, I need you to tell me, XRP Real Estate Dude. Let me see here. Yeah, it's Tucker. He did have a name. So Tucker is the official guard dog of the Digital Asset Investor channel. And finally, we need a guy that can put out fires on this channel. Kenny wants to be the official firefighter of the Digital Asset Investor channel. So it is done. I hope you guys have a happy Friday. I'm the Digital Asset Investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that we have an official firefighter. We have an official scuba diver, and We have an official guard dog on this channel. Who else can say that? Thank you for listening.